if you have ever been in a relationship and you are no longer with that person, you know that breaking up is hard to do. The more time you spend with a person, the more time you connect with them, the more time you spend in their presence, especially if y'all kissing, y'all going places, you know, y'all spending all y'all time together. All y'all do is tweet each other back and forth, Facebook all the time. When you spend that time developing that bond, it's difficult to break up with. A lot of times we create habits in our lives, as we can see some of these people in their videos. Some had a habit of disrespecting. Of course, you see, you got them slapped a few times. Some had a habit of aggravating people, getting on your nerves. Y'all know people who just get on your nerves just for no reason, just all in your face. Who you finna try? Who you finna try? Now, I'm not saying that you put some powder on your hand and slap him in the face. Let me clear that up. Pastor Will is not condoning slapping people with powder. All right? But there are some things that we need to disconnect our lives from. That's what we're talking about, the breakup. This is relationship month, and we're talking about people, but also there are some habits, there's some behaviors, there's some stuff that you've been carrying for far too long. How many of y'all ever been hurt before? That's something that sticks with you for a while. You can probably go back in your mind and think about where you were, when it happened to you, who did it, how you felt, and we carry that into our present, which affects how long it takes for us to get to our future. But tonight, we're going to talk about how to break up from those things, from some habits, from some people, from some pain, from some hurt, from some issues. It's time for the breakup. Somebody say the breakup. When you're dealing with people, a lot of times we see that one reason for breaking up is a result of one party outgrowing the other. Sometimes you just outgrow people. I had some friends I used to hang out with a long time ago. And when I was in that phase in my life, it was cool. It was cool to be in the club spending all my money. I was straight, not knowing how stupid it was. I mean, it was cool for me to just hang out and we just go and we just do stupid stuff like fight, just for no reason. It was cool. But then I began to grow. And then I had to realize that even though I love you, it's time for a breakup because I've outgrown you. The hardest thing that it is for you to do is to try to force yourself to stay in a situation that you've outgrown. You ever try to put on some jeans that's too small? Oh my goodness. You spend 45 minutes just trying to get them over your kneecaps. Listen, I was just in these. Hold on, I can get them, hold on. Then you work them up your thighs, and then you start to suck. You've outgrown them. It's time to let them go. One reason for breaking up is when you outgrow, when one party outgrows the other. And we're going to talk about that growth and maturation. Because when you realize where you are and you've outgrown it, then once you mature, you can understand that you need to make the decision to break up. 1 Corinthians 13:11, New Living Translation. Paul said, it's like this. When I was a child, somebody say child, I spoke and thought and reasoned as a child does. But when I grew up, somebody say grew up, I put away childish things. As you mature, your desires should grow up. You outgrow some people, you outgrow some situations. How foolish would it be if you are 62 years old, still trying to play with the toys that you used to play with when you were a baby? If you had a little baby piano when you were a child, and it made a little ting, 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 ting. What do you look like? What do these musicians look like if they walked in here for praise and worship with that baby piano? Say, come on, it's time for praise and worship. Ting, 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 ting. You'd be like, really? That's what you brought in here? You've grown. It's time to mature. It's trying to put away some things. When you mature, your desires should grow up. You shouldn't want the same thing that you wanted when you were 6. Now, some of us, well, I'll say for me, when I was young, when I was 6, I wanted to be certain things that weren't even possible. Like when I was young, I wanted to grow up and be a ninja. I just knew that was going to be my life's profession. When I grew up, I just knew I was going to be chopping everybody. I knew that's what I was going to do when I was young. Then I grew up. And I realized as I matured, my desires began to change. Because, yeah, it may be fun to run around chopping people, but chopping people don't pay no bills. You may chop the wrong person and end up in jail. So what I look like? A grown man running around with a leotard on saying I'm a ninja. As you mature, your desires should grow up. Your life should be progressing. Your desires should be progressing. You should want more than what you wanted last year. You should always be striving to be better, to be a better you, to have more in life, to not be satisfied with the status quo. When I was young, everything that in my surroundings looked like it was okay. I grew up in a household where my mom was struggling, but we was happy because we was with each other. I grew up in a household where at times we didn't have no lights. At times we had no heat. Well, I had some of the same clothes for years. I had holes in my shoes, but it was cool. As I began to mature, my desires began to grow up, and I said, listen, where I came from is not where I want for the rest of my life. And now my desires have grown. I want more. I don't want to live in the same impoverished conditions that my mom lived in. And I'm not saying that we was dead, broke, poor, but it was difficult. What are your desires? Do you still want the same stuff that you used to want when you was in elementary school? Some of us have the same desires for the same type of women, same type of men, and we keep falling into the same type of sin because our desires haven't grown up. Because now, because the only thing that we focus on is, do she got a big booty? Do she got long hair? I don't care if it's fake. Is it long? Do he got a six-pack? What his teeth look like? And our desires are based solely on what we used to want. We're not even focused on the fact, is she smart? Does she have a relationship with the Lord? That one is just totally disregarded. We go to relationships and it's like, yeah, okay, you're not saved? Okay, that's cool. I don't need hardly go to church, no way. So listen, what's happening? Our desires have not grown up. The thing that God showed me about this is not only as we mature, our desires to grow up, meaning that we want different things, but our desires should literally grow up as our will becomes his will. See, the Bible says when a man delights himself in the Lord, he will give him the desires of his heart. But see, we want the desires, but we haven't matured to where our desires have grown up to focus on the will of God for our lives. Where are your desires? Are you focused on worldly things? The Bible says, set your affections on things above and not on things on the earth. Lay up for you treasures in heaven. See, we focus on treasures down here on earth. We focus on money right now. Everybody want to be rich, right? Right? I mean, I want to be rich too. I ain't gonna lie. But see, what happens is that when that's our driving force, when that's our driving desire, we then alter God's plan for our life to try to make that happen. Because now we'll do stuff out of context of God's will. Now we'll sell our destiny short because our desires haven't grown up. When you mature, your desires should grow up so that your will becomes his will. The Bible says that we don't get when we ask because we ask amiss, that we can spend it on our own pleasures. We ask God for money, we won't even think about tithing. We won't even think about bringing an offering. Say, God, give me $1 million. God give you $1 million, you may bring 2 to the church. Oh, here's my offering, God, $2. Good looking out. The rest of this, that's all me, Pepper. But see, as you grow and you mature, your desires should grow up. Growth is inevitable, but maturation is optional. Just because you grow older in age, don't mean you grown. It don't. You can get old and still be silly. Y'all know some old silly folk? Maybe in their 30s, 40s, playing games like 15, 14-year-olds. Yeah. See, growth, you're gonna get older every year. It's inevitable. But do you mature Are you in a different place right now in this year than you were last year? Starting back school, are you in a different place this year than you were last year? Or are you in the same place, dealing with the same folk, doing the same stuff? What are your desires? Are you maturing? Look at somebody and ask them, are you maturing? Ask somebody else, because y'all said that kind of weak. Ask them, are you maturing? Growth is inevitable. Maturation is optional. A sign of maturity is knowing what to put away and what to let go of. A sign of maturity is knowing what to put away and what to let go of. See, a lot of times we get stuck in situations and we want to hold on to everything. We want to hold on to this relationship because if this relationship fails, then I don't know what I'm going to do, because I don't want to face loneliness. I want to hold on to this person because they make me feel good where I am, and if they leave, then I don't know where I'm going to be. Sign of maturity is knowing what to put away, what to let go of. I would have never gotten here to the point to where I'm up on this stage speaking to you if I was still hanging out with them same folk in the club. Would have never got here. But see, as I matured, I had to know what to put away. Say, listen, I rock with you, for real. My ace, we've been down. But you going this way, I'm going this way. How can two walk together lest they agree? But see, a lot of times we walk with folk and y'all got two different visions. You want to be holy, she don't. You want to be righteous, he don't. And we say, oh, it's okay because he make me laugh. Because he funny. Because we have a good time. We're so in love. Everything is so great. He opens my door. He buys me food, buys me clothes. And we're so engulfed in these relationships, walking down the wrong path because we haven't known what to put away and what to let go of. The thing is this, what I had to realize is that just because you're a good person don't mean that you're a good person for me. Because you can be around people who are genuinely good people, who don't provoke you to sin, who don't provoke you to go off on the deep end, who are okay with you being holy and you being righteous and you being good. But that don't mean you good for me. Because see, you're good and where the path that God is leading me may be two different areas. So you may be good, but you may be good and not want to go to church. You may be good and you want to spend your time doing extracurricular activities, but you got a good heart. You heard the people say, God know my heart. You try to talk to people, say, listen, man, you just need to come to church with me, man. Listen, you don't need to be doing that, man. God know my heart. Yeah, I know he do. But see, you got to get to the point to where you know what to put away and what to let go of. We look at all the external factors. How does the person that you're connected with line up with the list that you have in the spiritual areas? Because see, all the natural stuff could be good. You ever had those relationships where all the natural stuff was good, where y'all just had a great relationship, y'all was cool? You ever had those relationships? But the spiritual was lacking? God is jealous. Look at somebody and tell them, God is jealous. And if you don't get to the point to where you mature and know what to put away and what to let go of, God will let some stuff fall apart because he is jealous for you. And you have a destiny and a purpose that you have got to achieve before you leave here. See, if we get to the point to where we mature and put away some things, we save ourselves heartbreak.